Good Monday morning, brothers and sisters. I pray you had a wonderful day of Sunday worship and that this week you find time for taking a true Sabbath day. The theme I want to open up and explore with you this week is a very basic theme, the theme of grace. The glory of the gospel is that it is a gospel of grace, the gospel of grace beyond all comprehension. We have not received what we deserve, and we have received what we do not deserve and can never earn. Romans chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Therefore, since we have been justified by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ. Through him, we have also obtained access by faith into this grace in which we stand, and we rejoice in hope of the glory of God. Through Jesus, we have obtained also access by faith into this grace in which we stand. We lived for several years in Canada near the foothills of the Rockies, and we could drive and be in high country in less than an hour. Few things that I loved through that time more than mountain hiking, still do. One of the wonders of high mountain hiking is making a tough ascent, reaching a peak, and emerging from the rocky path into a vast open alpine meadow. It's just breathtaking with beauty. That experience has always formed my imagination as I read Romans chapter 5, verse 2, into this grace in which we stand. Because Jesus has achieved reconciliation with God on our behalf, we have peace with God, and we stand by faith in this limitless, boundless field of grace. By faith, we stand in an alpine meadow of beauty and glory under a spectacular cloudless blue sky. There's a riot of colors sprinkled all over a field of verdant green, a clear mountain stream cascading through the field, and birds swooping in the air and singing with joy. Later this week on Thursday, God willing, I want to explore some outworkings of grace, particularly as it has to do with compassion and forgiveness. But today, as we begin Easter week 3, I want to simply dwell in the alpine field of grace by using some text, calling to mind some text with some very strong, vivid images of grace. And I want to encourage you to let your heart and your imagination get involved. You're going to have to slow down. I won't, but if you want to enter into this, you're going to have to slow down in order to really engage the images and the emotions of these texts. The first is Zechariah chapter 3. In Easter week 1, I actually made a passing reference to Zechariah 3, but I want to turn there now and read the first 5 verses. Then he showed me Joshua, the high priest, standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at his right hand to accuse him. And the Lord said to Satan, "The Lord rebuke you, O Satan. The Lord who has chosen Jerusalem rebuke you. Is this not a brand plucked from the fire?" Now Joshua was standing before the angel, clothed with filthy garments. And the angel said to those who were standing before him, "Remove the filthy garments from him." And to him he said, "Behold, I've taken your iniquity away from you, and I will clothe you with pure vestments." And I said, "Let them put a clean turban on his head." So they put a clean turban on his head and clothed him with garments. And the angel of the Lord was standing by. Very vivid vision that God gave Zechariah. I encourage you to meditate on this text this week and use 3 handles to meditate on it. First, recall the rebuke of the accuser. Not the accusations of the accuser. You don't have to work hard probably to recall those words. I want you to work to recall the rebuke of the accuser. Jesus, your advocate, is standing before you, before the throne of God alongside you. Recall this as you read the text, that the accusation is not corrected, probably because the accusation was accurate or true. It's silenced with a stronger message. It's overwhelmed with a greater message, with an authoritarian, "The Lord rebuke you, Satan," because the accused stands in a greater truth than any condemnation you may bring before us. He's a brand snatched from the fire. Recall the decisive, authoritative silence. Read Romans chapter 8, verses 31 through 39, and let it sink into your soul that God rebukes the accusations because he has overcome the accusation by a greater work, the work of grace. Reflect on how you've been rescued from the fire. Look back. Joshua was a brand plucked from the fire. Look back at your early Christian life, perhaps, and recall the moments when incidences of intervention and rescue. Dwell on them. Thank God for them. Take them to heart. Renew the remembrance of such things. And then finally, receive your new festival clothing. Look at how you've been reclothed in the righteousness of Christ. Realize that by definition, you're invited to a wedding festival, a banquet of joy and celebration. So sometime this week, do a little spiritual dance. Look at yourself and laugh with the joy of the ridiculous grace of God that you would be dressed in such finery. The next image that I want to direct your mind to is Psalm 149, verse 4. For the Lord takes pleasure in his people. He adorns the humble with salvation. Again, such a powerful image of grace. The Lord takes pleasure in his people. When did you last take pleasure in someone? Just simply take pleasure in them. What's your experience of that beautiful phrase? My most ready experience is memories of our home growing up, when the kids were growing up. Particularly, we lived in Iowa for a while in an old farmhouse that we remodeled by a lot of sweat equity into a wonderful place to raise kids. We loved it. We had 4 kids at the time, and they were all still young enough to go to bed quite early. And often I'd be the one to go up and check on them to make sure they were breathing. You know how we do. I'd look in and the nightlight would be glowing, and there I would just stand there in the sheer pleasure of their existence. There was no other reason for my joy in them other than this: they exist. They exist as my children. And that's what Psalm 149 says about you, that the Lord takes pleasure in his people. He adorns the humble with salvation. In grace, God takes pleasure in us, and in grace, he saves us and makes us beautiful. If you need more fuel for your imagination, Zephaniah chapter 3, verses 14 through 20, and if we have time, I'll read it at the end. With these powerful visual texts, I want to encourage you to explore grace as it is expressed in beauty and love towards you this week. The gift of beauty and the love of beauty. The love of God expressed in beauty. And let me give you 4 options to do this with, practical options. First, you could choose to listen to some beautiful soul-expanding music. Find yourself a place to sit where you can literally be inside the music, your car with multiple speakers, your earphones, your living room with a great surround system and a good subwoofer. Let the music roll over your senses. Enter into it. Feel the instruments playing. Let it stir your heart with the power of transcendence. And remember that you are wired for beauty. You have a taste for beauty. You have been given beauty, and you are being made beautiful. Another option, sit with a beautiful painting in front of you. Admire it. And by the admiration of it, it will tell you and draw you into something greater. Like Nouwen did with Rembrandt's The Return of the Prodigal at the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg. This week is particularly appropriate to think of a couple of possibilities of beautiful paintings. Caravaggio's The Revealing of Jesus in the Breaking of Bread in Emmaus, or Matthias Stam's painting of the same scene. Look at both of those. See them. Look at them and compare them. Ponder and reflect and see what you can learn. Or pick a different painting. Look at it. Meditate on it daily and just sit with it. Let it soak into your soul. Third option, go for a walk, a stroll in beauty. Spring is erupting. And this season there happen to be a lot of empty and underused hiking trails around. Find a place where you can be in creation without distraction. Look, listen, stop, and pray. Fourth, cook a great meal. Use a new stretching recipe. Get creative. Add to it. You make it a date night with your spouse. You're not going out to eat these days, so you might as well. And if that's tough to do because your house is crawling with squirrely kids, we'll figure out some creative way to do it. Go on a picnic, but make it the picnic of the decade. Make a choice, set aside time, receive the grace of God through the gift of beauty. That's really all I'm trying to say. Receive the grace of God through the gift of beauty, and understand that the gift of beauty and the ability to appreciate beauty is a gift that speaks of his grace and comes from his grace. I don't have time to read Zephaniah chapter 3, but if you want to get this rolling further in your imagination, take some time to read Zephaniah chapter 3, the end of the little book, verses 14 through 20. In the meantime, may God bless you with a sense of his grace and his beauty in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.